Hello, hello, and welcome, or should I say ho, 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 Christmas cousins? I'm Cousin Chad.
And I'm Cousin Seth.
And Cousin Seth, one of
Yes.
our favorite returning guests is here with us tonight. This is very exciting. We have a true expert. Now, you and I, we may claim to be experts. We have no expertise in anything, right, Seth? I mean,
Right. We put up a good front.
we
So,
do. Yes, we do. At least you do. I don't know if I can pull it off, but we have an expert tonight, an expert in the realm of Hallmark movies and movie reviews. If you've seen her on Instagram at the Heart of Reviews, we have with us, ladies and gentlemen, Christmas cousins worldwide, the inimitable Kacy. Thank you, Kacy, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you to this live studio audience.
The live studio audience was so excited you were coming tonight. They were here hours earlier with signs. We love the Heart of Reviews. We heart the Heart of Reviews. We review the Heart of It was wild how many signs there were. And then, of course, Kacy, there were all of the Seth, will you marry me? Seth, be my Valentine. But that's getting old, frankly.
I mean, unfortunately, Seth won't see it because he's never here early enough to see the live studio audience come in.
Right.
That's a good point. Plus, Kacy, you saw his entourage when he walked in. There were 7 burly bodyguards around him. He doesn't see a thing, and no one gets within 5 feet of him, not even us. So
no, it looks like a WWE show out there, truly.
Seriously. I know, Seth, you're just not really a man of the people, are you?
Do you think the guy in my grouping that I have picked my teeth, specifically if there's anything in it, if that too much, is that going too far? Everybody needs him in their crew. So.
Seth, I have to tell you, most people don't have a private tooth picker. They don't.
Yeah.
They floss themselves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Yeah, you try
I'll
it.
Figure
Just
it out,
try
I
it.
guess.
Yeah, Kacy, he does not know how we live, like normal people live. So he did try one. This is a true story. He stayed at my house once and he said, well, I didn't fly my flosser in. I have to floss before bed. So I showed him how to do it. He complained that the tips of his fingers were so numb for an hour after flossing his own teeth. He never did it again. This is crazy. True tales of being pleasant.
Need not tell me twice.
Let's just say the rest of the week he just had steak stuck in his teeth and it was fine.
Right.
He lives a different life of luxury.
He really does. I know. But we're not here to talk about Cousin Seth. Kacy, he always makes it about him. It's wild how he does that.
I should have known. I brought my dentist in, my hygienist. We're going to go this route.
Seth, that's in March. We're doing that as a pre-Easter dental hygiene show we're doing.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, Kacy's going to join us for that as well. She's going to review our teeth before and after cleanings because she's the Heart of Reviews.
Yeah, definitely what I'm an expert on.
Right, exactly. But if you do want to follow Kacy, she's both on Instagram and YouTube at the Heart of Reviews, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, so Kacy, before we get into this 3 Wise Men and a Baby and Hynie-Thon day 4, any big projects or anything you want to tell us about that's going on in your world?
That is a great question. Not a whole lot right now. I'm looking forward to doing some more interviews. I'm going to do a sort of history of the Hallmark Channel video, a sort of what happened with Candace Cameron Bure video. So those should be coming out in the next few months.
Okay.
Nice. Focusing on how the channel got to this point because it's in such a different place. Tyler Hynes is in such a different place than where he was when it all started. So going to do some things like that.
Did you mention Tyler Hynes? It's Hynie week, everybody. Hynie-Thon. And we're recording this, Kacy, on, as you mentioned in the pre-show interview, on Tyler Tuesday, which is really exciting. So the crowd is going crazy. I really want to see who they're more enthusiastic about, this crowd, Tyler Hynes or Cousin Seth. Now, it's our studio audience, so it's going to be tight. So
right, might be a little biased, but...
So, Kacy, when will those be coming out? Is it something that's in the future, like spring, summer?
Yeah, we're looking at a spring, early summer timeline. Right now I'm focusing on watching The Way Home, watching all the new Jane Austen movies. I'm just taking it all in.
Okay, so how are those new? Those are the new Hallmark TV series. How are they? I haven't seen any.
I really quite like The Way Home. My father refuses to watch it because he says that it's really stupid, which I think is true. The characters are dumb. However, I
Uh,
have such a great time watching people time travel and make poor decisions. So I have
yeah.
a lot of fun watching it.
No wonder why you're a fan of the Christmas Cousins podcast. Dumb people
Right.
time traveling, making poor decisions. I mean, this sounds like the
Yeah,
description of our show, Seth.
it definitely does. It's a criteria for a lot of shows that I watch.
Absolutely no comment.
No. Seth, are you ready to time travel? Sure, let's go, bud.
Absolutely.
Coming up in April. We're going back in time. Actually, when this airs, it'll be Friday and we're recording on a Tuesday. That's kind of time travel-y too. This is so cool.
Mhm.
We're in the past and the future at the same time. It's like a Schrodinger's cat kind of thing going on. I don't know. But anyway, well, that's cool. We will keep an eye out on that. And hopefully one day we'll be able to be guests on your show. And you can introduce us as being experts of nothing. And you don't even know why you're having us on. That will be fun.
I'm sure
could
that,
surprise you.
at this point, you guys are experts at all things Tyler Hynes and Hallmark and Christmas.
We are getting there, right? I know. I mean, Seth tried eggnog once, so he's an expert. Yeah, we've got stuff going on. It's
Right.
good. So we'll figure it out. But anyway, so why are we here? Yes, this is Hynie-Thon week. We decided, Seth, the journey started with cousin Seth kind of going through the holidays and the seasons and learning it with me as sort of his guide. And then once Christmas passed, we were looking at all these things and we saw, wow, what the fan base Tyler Hynes has of this really cool group of people. And we said, we want to dive into this more, learn more about Tyler, his career, his lifestyle, why he is such a fan base that just loves him so much. What is it about him that's so lovable? So we've been exploring that this week. And part of it, of course, are his movies. So we did Winter and Veil, which is a non-Christmas one, with the Christmas Aficionado. Check him out on YouTube as well, the Christmas Aficionado. But we wanted to, of course, do a Christmas one because that's where the bulk of these movies are, the audience is there for. And those are the ones, frankly, I enjoy the most as well. And Seth has become most familiar with. So we brought you in. We had to bring in the big guns to do Three Wise Men and a Baby because I think when this came out, Kacy, this was like one of the biggest Hallmark movies ever. Am I correct?
Yeah. I think it broke a lot of their streaming records for most people watching on the day that it came out.
That's crazy. And well,
Is
it's not just Tyler, it's the three big guys in it in one, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all three of them, and then also it was written by Paul Campbell and Kimberly Sustad, another fan favorite. So they just really put everyone they could into that one.
Right. They threw it all in. That's right. Okay. And it was, and we'll get into it, but it turned out to be a really cute movie too. So that helped. It lived up to some of the hype, I think. So I think we'll get into it. Now, Seth, you did watch it, correct?
I did watch it. Yes. I watched it all the way through and I actually watched it for research purposes too. So yeah, I'm getting double dose. I have to think about how I phrase this. I'm getting a lot of Tyler information.
So, oh no! Seth, what is his name again? We're going to get us in trouble.
And in the movie, it's Taylor. So that confusion is okay. I think it's permissible. So
I swear they did that just to confuse you, Seth, because
probably
Tyler's character is Taylor. So okay. Whatever you call him through this, you're safe because you could be referring to him or his character. So I think we're good here. So, all right. I think let's roll right into this. Let's do this thing. What do you think, audience?
Yeah.
They're into it. Okay. So here's what we have. We have three giant Hallmark stars in one: Andrew Walker, Tyler Hynes, Paul Campbell, Three Wise Men and a Baby. What was interesting is, and Kacy, you'll see, this is one of the few Hallmark movies that is all from the male's perspective, not the female's perspective, which I thought was interesting, right? How many other movies are there like this with this perspective? Not that many.
Yeah, there aren't a ton. I mean, typically when you have an Andrew Walker movie, a Tyler Hynes movie, or a Paul Campbell movie, they're usually sort of the main star because everybody knows them, everybody loves them. But there still aren't a lot of them. Typically they are. It stars, we see the woman first in her Big
Yeah,
city job.
even like this year, Never Been Christ was from
Hmm.
the girl's perspective, the lady's perspective, right? What was Andrew Walker was in Christmas Island. That was more from the pilot, the female pilot's
Yeah.
perspective, visiting the island. So it's rare to have the male's perspective, but I liked it. I thought that was a cool twist, just to change it up, right, Seth? I know you like the movies that from a different angle too, so it's not all the same.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's like they did it in threes. So it was yeah, it was a nice, interesting, I say spin on it, but to see how the more movies normally are. So.
Yeah, so that was cool. So they start now. Tyler's a developer. He messed up some design. He's incensed. He quits or gets fired. I don't know. I think I grabbed a drink at that point. But where they're just introducing what all their jobs are. Paul Campbell, he's an author and a pet psychiatrist, which I thought was a fun nod to like Ace Ventura, pet detective. And there's also Andrew Walker is a firefighter. He has a opening scene. He's like shirtless, which is Seth's screensaver. So that was like a big one. Like right off the bat was like
looking
boom,
in the mirror. Yeah.
Yeah. That was like right off the bat, you knew they weren't coming to play. They're like, all right, let's get some ratings here. Andrew's looking good. And they even have the fun kind of 1980s-esque pestering neighbor who's like stuck in high school but wants to win the light contest. So and there's some great lines. Obviously, in this movie, let's try to focus more on some of Tyler Hynes' acting since it's the Hynie-Thon. He has a great line right off the beginning, and you guys let me know what you think too. He said to the guy, the neighbor's like, "Hey man, whatever, I'm going to win the light contest." And he goes, "Nice truck. Does that come with an unearned dose of self-confidence?" And I was like, that's a great, well-written, well-delivered line. And
Hmm.
there's a
And then he
bulb out I
follows
don't
it right
mean to
up.
like.
Yep, exactly. You
Yeah,
got a
that's
bulb
it.
out.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That was good. I want to use those
Yeah.
burns. I'm just waiting for the right time.
Yeah, there were some great quips in this movie, just like what little one-liners, and to be expected by Tyler, a lot of them. So it's
He pulls them off. His range, he keeps that cool, even-handed range that he doesn't go like too high or too low or like too big. It's just natural. And I like that too. So his
yeah.
performances stand out just for being organic, I guess, too. Okay, so we go to Paul Campbell. He has social anxiety, like the reclusive author. Last time you were on, Kacy, we
Hmm.
did what was that? Magic and Mistletoe?
Yeah, Magic and Mistletoe.
A forgettable one, a little bit. We had higher hopes. And he was a reclusive author there. And in this one, he has social anxiety as well. Tyler lives
That was
downstairs, which is funny. Yeah, I'm
that
sorry.
was
Go, Seth.
interesting. They they established that he has this social anxiety when he's at the park, but then he like ducks off and he or maybe it was a different scene, but he opens up a bottle of pills and he's trying to shove them into his mouth to calm down. I thought that was interesting. I was like, I didn't think like Hallmark would show something like that, like someone taking pills, but
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
more recent. They did one movie. It wasn't a Christmas movie. With Eloise Munford, and she was a person with anxiety, and she was
Okay.
taking pills. And I think that
Oh,
was one of
really?
the first times on Hallmark that I had seen someone have like anxiety, depression, and really show
Mm.
how to combat that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, they
Casey. Go on,
addressed
Seth.
it really well, and kind of as he's working through it, so it's kind of its own little subplot. But yeah, no, it was interesting. But yeah, I saw that, I was like, really? So,
It's good they address it, right? Because so many people have social anxiety. It's cool to show it in the form of like a cool guy like Paul Campbell. But Kacy, it seems like not that long ago, Hallmark movies didn't even have like wine drinking. Like adults would be like, let's go on a date and get a hot cocoa. But more and more, right? We're seeing some beers, some wine sneak in.
Yeah, it depends on the era of Hallmark. Back in like 2009 to 2012, there was a lot of free-flowing alcohol. I mean, there was even Hitch
Okay.
for the Holidays. Somebody got drunk and they talked about alcoholism a lot. And
Oh,
then
wow.
past 2012 through like 2020, it was all hot cocoa apple cider. So,
Right,
yeah, it's
exactly.
definitely
Yeah.
new
Right.
just to see someone passing around a bottle of wine at the dinner table.
Yeah, right. And even what was it, 2 years ago? They opened up the season with Noel Next Door, and Corey
Hmm.
Sevier, however you say his name, was literally upset one scene and just broke out a bottle of vodka or something and just started boozing. I was like, wow, this is not only a Hallmark movie, but starting off the holiday season, like this is setting the tone. And You'd have liked that,
Right.
Seth. He got drunk and angry. Glass was breaking. It was wild. Seth. It was a wild one. So
That hardly sounds like the situation you described.
Things got a little wild for sure. Yeah. So, okay. So where were we? We were cheers. We were talking about drinking. It always ends up drinking on this show. So, okay. So basically, Tyler or his character Taylor lives downstairs in the basement, which they reveal like you don't realize he's downstairs because she's talking to him on the phone. Then he yells upstairs like, "All right, I'll be right there, Ma." Paul lives in the backyard, and they let him know, okay, Tyler quit or got fired. Do you guys know? Was he quit or fired?
He got fired, and then he quit in retaliation.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's a good way to do it. Seth, has that ever happened to you?
No, it doesn't go that cool or that smoothly.
So you have been fired, but then not quit in retaliation.
I don't know if that exact situation. But
it's hard to be fired when you're like the CEO of all your companies, Seth, but okay, I don't know.
Right. That's constant insistence to step down. They're like, yeah. No.
This is fueling those message boards. Kacy, I don't know if you see, there's a lot of Reddit message boards about Cousin Seth, and some people are questioning whether he really is one of the world's wealthiest men, as if it's a construct of the show, and they're going down weird rabbit holes. And
right.
I mean, people on Reddit, they have strange theories. You can't trust them.
They do. I mean,
that
Kacy,
wallpaper is not fake gold. That is real gold on those walls.
That's right. That's right. You see the staff scurrying behind him all the time, right, Kacy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw the flosser when he walked in.
That's right, running out. Yes. That was Seth, is that the good, like that waxed floss that has the minty flavor and doesn't shred up in your teeth? Is that what you use?
I have a couple different types. I have the gum pick, and then I have the little one with the floss on it. Yeah, I like to.
Wow,
it's a whole thing. It's but I can take that up on another podcast.
Okay, maybe we'll do a Friday flossing episode or something with that. That would be really interesting. Yeah, I think
people are going to their weekends, and people throw caution to the wind. They start neglecting things, and oral hygiene is one of those things.
I could hear the audience right now running as far as they can away from our show once that airs. Maybe we could pull it off. Actually, that'd be a fun challenge for sure. But where were we? Kacy, are we reviewing a movie here? Is it Tyler Hynes Hynie-Thon week or what? This is awesome. So, okay, that's what happens on this show. Things just we digress, and it's nonlinear, and that's how it is. So
because it's a time travel podcast, as we know.
That's true, right? That's our spinoff. So basically, what happens? They Andrew Walker, he's at the firehouse, and there's a baby with a note that says, "I'll be back by Christmas." Now, my first thought was, "Wow, this baby can write."
Yeah.
That was my first
got self-dressed.
He got himself dressed. He called Uber, dropped off at the thing. I mean, wow. I was impressed.
Let me see a little more backstory on.
Yeah, that would be the prequel. Just from the baby's perspective would actually be really cool. So
that would be new.
I guess that would, right? I guess that's for another one. So, okay. So basically the baby's there with the note that says, "I'll be back by Christmas." And they're like, okay, well, they go, we'd call child services, but it's a little late at night or something like that. As if child services is like any babies found after 5 p.m., wait till 9 a.m. I thought that was a little off. Later. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what you guys think about that. They could have come up with a better way, I thought, for that, in fairness.
Yeah, they have a lot of reasons for not calling child services, which seem... Like, I understand where they're coming from. You know, they don't want to get the mother in trouble, I guess. They think she deserves a second chance. But also, she has left her baby at a firehouse and also, like, left him with no supplies, no instructions, no milk, no diapers.
Nothing.
Just the baby.
Not even an emergency. Like, I guess she couldn't leave an emergency number, but, like, not even a bottle. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Not even
they had to buy all that stuff.
Yeah, I raised my kids. I gave them an iPad.
Right, you can do that.
every time I went away for the week, I left my babies with an iPad fully charged, and I knew they'd be okay. But this baby had nothing.
With a full bowl of water.
Yeah, right. A bowl of water. There you go, Seth. You leave some kibble. You've got to do something.
A dog feeder, exactly. One of those automatic ones. Yeah.
Yeah, it self-feeds. So, right, that's a good point. I didn't think about that, right? She left nothing. The baby was at least snuggled warm and stuff. So, okay. So they're like, we'll keep the baby through Christmas. This is the crux of the movie right now. And then we'll call Child Protective Services if the mom doesn't come back in a week. So at least I'll have like cute Christmas pictures and things. So the mom but the mom has previously said to the boys, look, I just want an old-fashioned Christmas. We're all together. We all get along. Can we do that? Then the mom gets a call from her aunt, who's her sister. She's in the ER. She had a fall. So the mom has to leave. So the baby is left with the three of them alone. That ends the first act. So it sets it up perfectly, though, at the end. So what do you guys think? End of the first act. It's got a good setup so far.
Yeah,
were you into it? Were you were in? Okay, Kacy, you were in at this point.
I was completely. I mean, listen, you give me these three men and you give me a very cute baby. I don't care what the plot is. I'm gonna watch it. But yeah, I was definitely in. I was here for it.
Right. Okay, that's a good point. Right, those three. It was like they knew people were watching. Surprised they even wrote words. It could have just been in mute, like an old before the talkies came out, just a silent movie with the three of them, and ratings would have been just as good.
Yeah, so, just that one scene of Andrew Walker doing yoga. Like, that's all we needed. Right. Tyler Hynes walking in and out.
A lot of people I hear when we post these on YouTube, they hit mute and they just watch Cousin Seth. That's it. Like, no sound, nothing. They just stare at him. So
right. You haven't heard different reasons, I'm sure. Like, pause it right there. He makes the oddest facial expression.
Is that a tick? All right. So now the other brothers leave, and now the star of our week, Tyler Hynes himself, is left alone with a baby. So it's like if this scene couldn't get any cuter, they stick Tyler with a baby. But he has no idea what to do. But he has such a killer cardigan on with the two bottom buttons unbuttoned. Again, it's like, all right, he'll figure this out. I was wondering, does he bring his own wardrobe? Because I know, like, I've been on these sets, similar style sets before, and you bring your own wardrobe often. They don't provide you with wardrobe. So I wonder if he's bringing his own or if they have it or what, because he does seem to have a distinct style separate from the other guys. So any knowledge on that, Kacy? Do you know, or no inside?
I have no idea. I think we have to ask him. But I mean, I know that since this is written by Paul and Kimberly, they've probably, put a lot of that kind of style into the script. But yeah, good question of whether this is his actual cardigan. I hope it is.
Yeah. I feel like it was. Seth, you're a huge cardigan fan, as am I. What did you think? Let's just talk about the cardigan for the next 20 minutes.
Absolutely. Well, I came prepared for that. No, it's I would love to know, because when we first started watching this, just Hallmark altogether, I think is cornered the market on the cardigans. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've seen a couple of his pop up in maybe like Facebook Live or some of those other feeds or things that he does. So like very similar. So
if I could derail for 1 second about this,
please,
sweater.
One of us is going to do it. So,
there is this one sweater that Hallmark always uses for the background extras. It's the brick sweater, is what I like to call it, and it's like from Kmart, and it just looks like a fireplace. It's all bricks, and then it has a fire in the bottom. It is the ugliest sweater I've ever seen. It sticks out like a sore thumb, and they use it in so many movies, and every time I'm like, you understand, I can see that you're using the same sweater, because it's so like it sticks out so much. And it was in this movie, and I hadn't noticed it until I was watching this time. It's one of the guys at Fun and Games who works with Tyler, and he's wearing the brick sweater in the Christmas party, and I was just like, Hallmark, you've done it again.
Kacy, if you get a chance, if you go back and watch that screenshot and send it to us on Instagram, please. That is fascinating. I'm looking it up. So it's an ugly Christmas sweater. It's supposed to be.
It's not pleasant.
Right, but it stands out. So they must just have it in wardrobe. They're like, here, take it.
Yeah, but it's at least for this one, like everybody was wearing an ugly sweater except for Tyler. That was the whole point. But in other movies, like everybody's wearing really normal sweaters, and then it's just this one terrible sweater.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay. All right, we have to.
You've
I need to
you've
find this
zeroed
one.
in on it. Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah.
for it too. It's I can pull this to pull the movie up. No,
Yeah.
this was a good derailing.
I like that. Yeah, that now every movie I want to like find it. That's like the
Yeah, you have
ultimate
to look for
drinking
the
game.
brick
Yeah.
sweater. That used to be one of my
Yeah.
bingos on my
Really?
Instagram. Yeah, was for the brick sweater.
Oh, that's gonna be. I'm gonna have to be watching it in like next year in like November. I'm gonna see it, like throw a whole bowl of popcorn, like just be so excited, like not even know what to do with myself. It's the brick sweater.
Oh wait,
All right.
I wish I could turn my screen.
Did you
I
find
think
it,
I
Seth?
found it. I think I
Oh
did.
my. Well,
It's a sweater. Oh, sorry. I'll do
No, it's
some
okay.
research
We'll have
after.
to find it and we'll post it. Yeah. We're gonna post
Yeah,
a bunch of them.
definitely.
So okay, so basically though, the baby's hungry. Tyler breaks he breaks the food that they have. He has to take the baby to the grocery store. So basically, so here he again, this is very cool of his acting. He plays flustered yet calm veneer, which is kind of hard range to do, to be flustered but kind of calm but kind of nervous. He gets all the food, and the best is like he just cannot deal with the baby going to the bathroom, the diaper, dirty diaper, the smell. He like wants to evacuate the whole store. What'd you guys think about this scene?
I think it was peak Tyler Hynes. I mean, because we
Yeah.
get the we start the scene with him gaming with the baby and asking the
Yes.
baby if he's a gamer, which is just peak comedy. Very suave. Immediately into, as you're saying, so flustered, did not know what to do, sort of
Right.
not killing it with the ladies in this grocery store. When like, how old is the baby? And he's like, that many years old? I don't know.
That's funny.
No, it was. I think it was. It really showed his range.
Yeah. And at the end, he lost his wallet. He couldn't check out. He's completely worn out. I love that. At the end of a day and afternoon with the baby, Tyler's completely worn out. Paul Campbell's completely worn out. They do in this scene go to Paul Campbell meeting with a client with his dog's psychiatry needs, but this isn't the Campbell-thon. So I'm kind of just loosely watching, and we're moving on past Paul Campbell.
Yeah.
Act
No,
ends.
the picture, the stage picture of him sitting there on the table with the dirty rags all over him, where he's talking about how he's been spit up on. He's dealt with everything under the sun, and he just looks so worn out. I just love how they just. I can tell that the director was like, how do we make this as sexy as possible? I mean, if you had replaced it with like greasy oil rags and he had like a cigarette in his mouth, like that's what it was reading, like he was like a GQ
Right.
magazine, but instead he's
Right.
just surrounded by baby toys, which I thought was expert directing.
You're right, because he's sitting on the coffee table, kind of like lounged back. He's got the arm like behind him. It's usually when you're spent or completely drained or gassed out. Yeah, you're not holding your body up with one arm in a pose like that. So.
Right. So they're leaning into that it's Tyler, and they're going to use his appeal to everybody, basically. I can see the director. Okay, Tyler, it's just you and the baby. The baby is chewing on a candy cane, and you're chewing on a bigger candy cane, and you're totally worn out. But still, you and the baby are looking smooth. And he pulled it off. He pulled it off well. I mean, I have 2 kids, and when the baby threw up on me, I didn't look good. I didn't look cool. Nothing happened.
No.
So you've been there, Seth. You know.
Oh yeah, the sleep deprivation.
Oh yeah.
Being malnourished. Yeah, I did not look anywhere near that good. Even the fact that he was sitting upright.
Yeah, really. Audience, do you think Seth always looks good, don't you, audience?
So sweet. I always feel like I'm being buttered up for something.
I know, right? Now, I'm just going to ask them. I'm scared to ask Kacy. This is going to be embarrassing. Do I, cousin Chad, always look good?
Oh, that's not true.
It's not nice. They're so mean.
I think someone mixed up the sound effects.
Okay. Anyway, we digress. Don't we digress? Yes, we digress. So where are we? Stephen and Tyler, his character Taylor, watching the baby, worn out. They're pondering why someone would abandon a child at Christmas. but they don't have deep discussions in their house. They don't, but they're funny. They're all of a sudden like they've been parents for a while. We don't have any me time. The child's wearing them down. There's another baby. They get the baby's first ornament going. They run into Tyler's ex. So this is still at the thing. But anyway, we're wondering where, they bump into that braggadocious jerk of a neighbor again who busts them on having lame lights. That was like straight out of an 80s bully. That was kind of cool. Like, remember that movie Weird Science, The Older Brother?
Mhm.
I don't know if you've seen it, Kacy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Chet or whatever his name was. He was like, that's the guy reminded me of him. So
Yeah,
They
Matt
even gave him,
Hamilton
like,
is so good.
that is
He
kind
was
of,
in- That's the actor. He was in the
Wow.
Disney Channel show, the Disney Plus Turner and Hooch remake, the TV show, which Paul Campbell is also in, and he plays another just like jerk cop, and he's great.
Oh,
He's
really?
hilarious.
Wow.
Mhm.
You really are an expert, Kacy. This is amazing. Look at
I
that.
try.
Are you into
Yeah,
movies in general other than, I'm sorry, Seth, I just had to know. Like,
no,
are
go
you,
ahead. Go
other
ahead.
than
No,
Hallmark?
seriously.
I read a lot about other movies, but I pretty much only watch like the comedy romance types because I'm afraid of
Okay.
the other ones. But I always read about them because I find them interesting.
Oh, okay. So, Seth, maybe we can have an episode where Kacy comes on and teaches us how to read, because that is one of our goals for 2024, right?
That was our collective goal.
Right, it was. So
That's right. We have to get rid of Seth's person for that. So
that's right. The reader, the bedtime storyteller.
I named him Kindle.
Perfect. I like that line. Isolate that for tomorrow's clip. So, all right. So, Kacy, you read about movies and you watch movies, but your main focus is the rom-coms and the Hallmark space.
it is. It is. They just bring me comfort.
Oh, I like that. Me too. I love them. I mean, mainly the Christmas movies for me. Any time of year, I'll go for one of those. Okay, so where are we? We are back at the mom's house. They can't put the swing together. The baby finally falls asleep. They're like, do not move. And then Andrew busts in, wakes the baby up. It's like full on, like just noise everywhere. That's what happens when the baby falls asleep. And they have a really funny bit here where they do a take on, like, they're the stay-at-home parents. They're mad at Andrew. He's like, I had a thing. What's her name? Where were you? They're like the jealous parents all of a sudden. They're incensed. That was really funny, actually. That was really well done.
That was. I love that. Just to say the nuance in that scene. Tyler is he's holding Paul Campbell his hand, and he's holding the baby, and he's like doing these like squat things. It was hilarious. I was just
that was really funny. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was great how they did it.
Yeah.
But Seth, no more Paul Campbell talk. This is the Hynie-Thon, everybody.
I know, as I said that.
Hynie-Thon, here we go.
But I have some from some Tyler Hynes information I just learned. Kacy, you were talking about that who was it? Hamilton. He was in a Disney. I just learned that I guess there on NBC there was a mini series based on that movie, the John Grisham book, The Firm, maybe loosely based on the movie and stuff like that. That apparently he was in. I don't know if
Tyler
like the entire run. Yeah, I was like, oh, interesting.
Really nice.
Yeah, I need to check that out. It's, yeah, where did I see that?
Seth, you need to find out and report back by tomorrow night's Instagram Live.
Okay.
Okay.
Which by the time you're hearing this already happened. It's time travel. It is time travel.
Again, yeah.
So
yeah, I
cool.
do know that Tyler Hynes was in a TV show, Letterkenny, I want to say, where he plays like an inappropriate sort of character.
Dierks. Yeah. Oh, he's great in that. He's phenomenal in that.
Not very Hallmark appropriate, but like where we're heading with his characters.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I was a fan of that show, and then I learned that he was in it, so I went back and watched it, and yeah, that was kind of shocking. I was like, oh, really? I was like, yeah, this is not Hallmark friendly. It was great. I mean, he's yeah, it's very much. It seems like him acting. I mean, he obviously is acting, but his style of acting, and it works very well in that show. But Yeah, no, I was that thing with the firm. They said Hines captivated audience in NBC's firm based on John Grisham's novel, which he portrayed the smug and overly intelligent Ivy Leaguer Patrick Walter. I'm like,
Huh.
oh, interesting. So I have to
Wow.
check
Seems
that
like a
out.
different character for him. I will say when he first broke onto the Hallmark scene, my dad used to call him fake Nathan Fillion because back before he like had his beard, he was very like, Hallmark clean shaven and he looked a
Mm,
lot like Nathan Fillion. And so every time my
Okay.
dad's like, "Who's in this one?" It's Nathan Fillion, the guy who looks exactly like him. And now of course, he's Tyler Hynes. Everybody knows who Tyler Hynes is, but it took him a while for him to be able to be that sort of like scruffy sort of character.
oh, I didn't realize that because next week we're doing our Hynie-Thon. So that's a really good connection we can do. Okay, so we could bring it all together. So
Really
I
tie it
actually
in.
I don't know who that is. Nathan Fillion? Did I know him?
Yeah,
Do I
he
know who that
played
is?
Castle. He played Castle, that like the detective
Nope.
show. He's an
Nope.
author.
Uh,
God, I don't
I
know.
don't
He was in
yeah, I don't know that one.
Firefly. He's like a
Oh, I
cult
see him now. He does
classic
look like
guy.
Tyler Hynes. Oh, that's funny. He really does look like him. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Seth, did you know him?
No, I'm not
Okay.
familiar.
If you look him up,
Dang.
Filion, he does look like Tyler Hynes. You're right. But yeah, he looks just like Tyler Hynes. Wait, I'm
This was
sorry. You don't
earlier
have to
on.
call. Tyler Hynes is much more handsome. No calls. Oh no, that's a complaint line. I'm worried. Okay. He looks like an ugly Tyler Hynes, okay? Wait. The caller ID that says Nathan Fillion. I'm not answering. I'm not
Oh,
answering.
no.
No,
That's
don't just.
no. Just ignore it. Okay.
So, Kacy, have you ever seen this movie? I guess
gonna
he
hear
wrote,
us.
directed. Oh, sorry. Have you ever seen the movie? And we were going back and forth the name, but is it Chimera? Chimera that he wrote, Tyler wrote and
I
directed. He
haven't.
was in.
I
No,
feel like I got
Chimera.
it. I would
Okay.
assume it's sure, yeah, but I haven't. I'm more of a Walker Wednesday kind of celebrator than a Tyler Tuesday, but I do love my Tyler
Okay.
Tuesday. I'm not as familiar with his non-Hallmark work.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
short one. It's on YouTube. Chimera, Chimera.
Mhm.
It's totally different than anything you've seen him in. It's actually I did go back and watch it a second time to try to figure it out, and it's really cool. So, but did
I'll
you
have
just
to
say you're
watch
more of
it.
a Walker Wednesday than Tyler Tuesday? I think we might be getting the complaint line. Oh no,
Oh, I know.
Kacy,
They're back.
let's edit this out. Kacy, are you more of a Tyler Tuesday kind of person?
Absolutely.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Your way. Would you say your Wednesdays are pretty boring and humdrum? You don't get
I mean,
much.
compared to the Tyler Tuesdays,
Good
yes,
idea.
of course.
Yes,
Okay,
good idea, Seth.
perfect.
Good save. Good save. Wait,
The rest of your week is probably pretty. It's kind of a downward spiral until the following Tyler Tuesday, right? I'm guessing.
you guys listen. That caller ID says A Walker. Oh no, this is just we can't please everyone. I'm not.
No. We
Forget
can't have
it.
them
Yeah.
fight. They're cousins
Seriously.
after all.
Are they really? Are they
Yeah,
what
they're
in-laws
really
or something?
cousins.
Right?
Yeah, they're married into the family cousins. But
Wow. Hear that, Seth?
Yeah, we need to get them on.
yeah,
Yeah.
cousins on the
Seriously.
cousins.
I know the cousin. I like that one. Okay. So anyway, where are we? Oh, we're in the next act. So that was a funny scene. Andrew's like, relax, guys. It's a baby. He's super smooth with this baby. He knows everything. He's walking. He's baking. Everything looks clean and in order. The diaper's clean. Baby's fed, bottled, burped, bathed, assembled swing. Like he did everything. It was awesome. Steven's working with the dogs again. That's Paul Campbell, but no one is really here for Paul Campbell. Sorry, guys. It's just we're not here for Paul Campbell. And oh no, oh my gosh, this is P. Campbell. How did they get in his number, Seth?
Right.
You gotta shut down the
They're not even
complaint
going-
line.
Seriously,
They were smart.
Man,
They'd have their agents make the call. We can see it popping up your name.
another good idea, Seth. So Tyler meets a friend downtown. Now, this is cool about this friend. Now, Kacy, you may know as being a Hallmark movie fanatic. Do you know what other movie this guy has been in? He's been in probably my favorite or one of my favorite Hallmark movies of all time.
Oh, do tell.
Okay. The blonde guy he meets downtown is the guy in Small Town Christmas. He's like the business developer who's like the counterpart to Christopher Palaha. And I was like, where do
Mhm.
I know this guy? Where do I know this guy? I was like up all night. I couldn't sleep. And finally, again, it came to me. Dang, there it was. It's the guy from Small Town Christmas, which is cool. I don't know why he can't break into a leading man role. He looks fine, and he acts well. So I don't know. But he's like, he doesn't even want to hire Tyler. He says he's a wrecking ball. They go back to, now Andrew puts the baby down. They go back to him. He unwittingly swaps out the baby with another baby, which is interesting. It ends the act with a little cliffhanger. It's not the right baby. So that happens. It happens.
Yeah. I do like that they picked just the most different looking baby they could find, which is to say they got a baby with like full on Jimmy Neutron style hair. Just like looks like they've like rubbed that baby on a carpet, gotten all the static electricity they can get.
Right.
Very, very silly.
Yeah, you're right. You could totally tell there was a different baby, but I guess they didn't really look. So that makes sense.
Mhm.
I don't know. There was a lot going on. So
yeah, why would you put your baby on the ground
and cover it with a blanket?
Right. I don't know. There's a lot of issues.
Yeah, with moving cars around. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, yeah, normally secure your baby first, not like the groceries, but okay.
I love how they had to have the mother, pull her away or something so he could make her grab the wrong one. I don't know if you saw when she goes over to stop her kids from beating the snowman, the blow up snowman with like canes or something. Like they're sitting there just wailing on it, and she has to go over there and stop them or pull them off of it. And it's just like,
that's funny. I didn't notice that. That is funny. Yeah. Okay,
I'm also so surprised when we return from the cliffhanger that he goes back and he gets the baby back, that the cop doesn't ask, doesn't say like, is this child? Because it's not.
Right.
Doesn't require any sort of explanation.
That's a good point. No ID. Right. No ID, no checking. They're just like, it's our baby. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. Huh. Yeah. That town, they're kind of loosey-goosey with babies. They're just like,
yeah. We don't have that many born every day. So.
Yeah, right. And maybe they knew Andrew from like firemen and police officers. Maybe they knew each other.
True.
I don't know, but that's a really good point. So this whole town needs to have Child Protective Services called on them. But they would, but it's after hours, so they're closed. So maybe after Christmas, when they reopen after the holidays. They do have a sign on the door at the Child Protective Services building says, please keep your baby through the new year. We will be closed on vacation. So at least there's a note there. So anyway, they go ice skating. Tyler bumps into his ex. He literally offers him the gloves off his hands. What a gentleman. Now she can skate. Frankly, I think she could have skated without gloves and maybe just mildly discomfortable hands, but okay. Everybody has their own level of comfort, and that's just a way to show his chivalry. They broke up because they said Taylor, which is Tyler's character, Taylor, loudmouth, self-centered. And he pulls off a funny line. He's saying like how he'd look if his teeth fell out. I don't know what the exact line is, but the main thing was he's got a candy cane in his mouth. That's what we're here for. That's what we're waiting for. I mean, that was like, there we go. That's it, everybody. The candy cane in his mouth, right? Yeah.
Okay, so I know that we're not talking about Paul Campbell. However, there's been a lot of debate about this scene because Tyler Hynes did it in Three Eyes and Baby, and then Andrew Walker spoofed it in Christmas Island, and everybody was like, Andrew Walker's doing the thing. I was watching Window Wonderland, which was one of Paul Campbell's first movies, and he did it first. I just have to say, he was sitting there nonchalant with the candy cane in his mouth, and I was like, and he's the real winner of this contest. He's the one who has done that trick before, unless we have some time travel shenanigans going on.
Yeah, really. Yeah. I hate these guys. They just like copy each other and they're just like do something that's like been done. It's like, do your own thing, Do your own thing.
Yeah, where's your sense of originality?
Yeah. For those of you who are listening, I pulled out my pop candy cane. That's what I did right there. So it's not a visual medium. But so that's interesting. So you did a little slew thing. We need to let Paul Campbell know. All right, Paul, if you're listening, let us know you heard Kacy confirmed it, that you're, oh my gosh, he's actually
he
listening
needs
live.
Attribution. I mean, I don't even know what that word means. Whatever.
Seth, that was fantastic. Seth, don't give it away. Your character is illiterate and dumb. Don't give it away that you're
Oh,
a
yeah.
highly educated guy. Okay, Seth,
Mhm.
just play along.
I'm not taking on
Next
that
thing they'll
role.
think. Next thing people will think you're not one of the richest men in the world. Just don't pull out the fourth wall, Seth. Okay.
I will.
They're
Gotta keep
tuning
this
out
going.
en masse. Yeah, this is the tuning out en masse. Wait, Seth, isn't on the Forbes 500 or is he? We don't know. Kacy, don't. Kacy will find out. If she found out that Paul was the first one with the candy cane, she will like look into your tax returns and stuff. So
Okay.
get back to us. It's got a lot of commas and digits on those tax returns. So.
Or none at all. Which side of the decimal are they on?
Exactly.
That's
Lots
right.
of zeros, but any other numbers?
Yeah, really. And they are written in crayon. I've seen them. He asked me to take a look, but very
You
neat
really
line,
have?
Seth.
I have this many.
All your letters are facing the right way, Seth. And for that, we say cheers.
Cheers.
Doing great, my cousin. So anyway, where are we? They go tree shopping. The brothers realize how hard it was on the mom. They have a nice dinner together. So they're bonding and they're appreciating their mom. They see the neighbor. He challenges them for the decorating contest. They're like, we'll do it. We'll do it for mom. So they need a theme. The ex-girlfriend stops by. She has all these great decorating ideas. They're talking about the type of tree. Is it a fir? Is it not a fir? Tyler, again, has a great deadpan right here. He goes, it's the noblest of firs for sure, which I like a good pun. So he pulled it off. Like if you just see that line on a script, that's a hard one.
I mean, he did steal it from
Yeah.
Stefan. But I will say, I
Right,
listened to
right.
that and I was like, I know for a fact, and I don't know, maybe Paul Campbell can call into the show and tell me that I'm wrong, but like, I'm pretty sure that Kimberly Sustad is the one to have written that line because she has done so many movies where her character has like a whole scene where she's like, and here's exactly how to pick out a Christmas tree. Like so many movies that I had to figure out my own way, my own Hallmark way to figure out how to pick out a Christmas tree because I was like, I have to be just like Kimberly. And then they reintroduced it in this with Paul Campbell's character. And I thought it was very cute. And also, he's right. It has to be a noble fir for sure.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's okay. So it's very meta. There's a lot like they're kind of doing a joke within a joke or about it. So that's interesting. Oh, Kimberly Sustad getting some good feedback here. I wonder if she's listening live too. Oh my gosh, I'm never gonna be having this phone on the show. So the caller ID does say K Sustad. So, but you were saying good things about her. So anyway, I hung up.
We just have
That's what
never
we say?
record on the weekend. We don't want to overlap on a Sustad Saturday or a Sustad Sunday.
That's right.
Yeah, why don't we have one of those?
Seriously, Seth.
Easy
started.
money.
Throw down a beer. It's Sustad Sunday, everybody. Let's go.
Yes. We just
All
get
right.
more and more obscure people. Just
Yeah.
people in the
guy,
Hallmark organization.
Yeah, the guy who Tyler wanted a job with, who's also a secondary character in Small Town Christmas. We should find out his name, see which day of the week it correlates with, and have it. So, featured extra Friday. That's what it's called.
Right.
Exactly.
Yippee!
Woo, it's featured extra Friday. All right. So anyway, they decorate the firehouse. They go to the grocery store, but now they have to go incognito, which is really funny because they owed money or whatever. That was a nice callback. They buy a giant nativity scene. You're like, oh, it's on. There's a lot going on here. It'd be like a big, like shopping scene at Party City at the end of one of these, like where it's just like a building, a crescendo. So the brothers ask Luke where he was. They don't buy the excuse. Oh, Luke is as Andrew Walker's character. My own notes. I didn't know who Luke was. They do the fireman auction. They're auctioning off Andrew Walker, which I know those who celebrate Walker Wednesdays like that scene. They see that baby has the rash. They freak out. Now Tyler's with the ex. They're trying to make it work, but it's impossible. Now Andrew Walker's character, Luke, gets an award for a service. He has a perfectly tailored, like $2,000 suit, which is amazing on a firefighter salary. I'm thinking it all went to this Armani suit. It looked fantastic. And they go to the ER. I don't know where the baby is at this point, but Kimberly Sustad comes out, which is cool, as the doctor. And then she's like, the baby's not dying. The baby needs a diaper change, which was like, okay, that was funny because they just had no idea. And then let's see. Did we say, does she say who's the father? Oh, she does. Yeah, she asks who's the father. Very funny. Yeah, funny line. Okay, yeah, I just wrote three grown men and a baby. Who could write this stuff? Is that a line she said? I'm
She
looking at my
does say
notes, but I
that.
can't. Oh, that's a funny line. Okay, very cool. So they go back. The boys bond some more. They want to win the contest for mom. They all chip in to help. The news people are there. It's the annual Spirit of Christmas competition. It's
Yippee!
on. This looks like a lot of fun right now. So I like this. Now, in your town, Kacy, I know you're in Florida. Did they do any big like town-wide celebrations or anything?
Yeah, we have like a boat parade
Oh,
and
nice. Okay.
some others. It's pretty much just the boat parade, which honestly was underwhelming. They go very slowly.
Really?
All right.
Right. Wow. And they decorate the boats, but that's it.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's about it. And you stand in a park, but I mean, some of the boats are pretty. We did have somebody fall off, and that was the story of the night. They were completely fine.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Especially in Florida. There could be a bull shark, an alligator. There could be both. Like you
I know,
don't want to
right?
fall in that water.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay. So they made it. All right. It's isn't the Ringling Brothers Museum right over around there?
yeah. It's a big circus town. We did have Nick Wallenda, the famous tightrope walker, his whole
Yes.
family at the mall for some reason. We're walking across the tightrope. They even lit the Christmas tree this year, so we did have that.
Oh, that's cool. It would be even cooler if Nick Wallenda was the guy who fell off the boat. Like he's fine on tight ropes, but he can't walk on a boat. Like as soon as,
Exactly.
or like he's on solid land, he can't walk.
Motion
That's great.
sickness.
Oh, poor Nick Wallenda. Oh my gosh.
That's what did him in.
That's what did him in. Oh well, he was a flying brother. But anyway, right? The Flying Wallenda's brothers or whatever they're called.
Hmm.
Wallenda brothers. Yeah, I think so. Okay. So anyway, the mom understands. The mom comes back. We're here. Oh, did we do no, I'm sorry. First we had the big thing. So they do the big light scene. The light scene was cool. They're nailing it. They do the whole nativity scene. The mom shows up out of nowhere, gets the crowd going. She saves the day again. But the neighbor, Mark Leclerc, still wins, but he goes and I love this, goes and invites them to go crush some pints of eggnog. That was a great line. I thought that was funny. But it just shows the mom coming back and saving them again. They all work together as a team. So I thought that was very heartwarming and cool. What did you guys think about that, the Christmas scene?
Didn't they say they were going to get a keg of eggnog?
Yeah, a keg
Or
of
some-
eggnog.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
you know that
Okay.
Mark Leclerc has a keg.
Oh, totally.
yeah,
Yeah.
that name is terrible. Mark Clark.
It's a great 80s bully name, Mark Leclerc. It
Yes.
works. Yeah. He's got a
Yeah.
keg and a backup keg. You know he does. He's like
Yeah,
one spiked.
that's one thing I was thinking about. I was like, they keep saying that he was the one pushing Tyler Hynes into lockers, and I know that Tyler Hynes was like a League of Legends kind of nerd with his video
Right.
games, but I just cannot picture that man who they're very clearly being like, he's like I said, right out of a GQ magazine, being shoved into
Right.
lockers in high school. Thought it was pretty
Right,
silly.
right.
But yeah, I thought it was a great scene. I just wonder why they didn't write a script. Like they just went out there and thought that they knew the nativity story and they just had no idea at all.
Right.
You'd think
Yeah,
they would at
where
least
are
like
they going?
refresh their minds. Yeah.
And then Paul Campbell comes out and he has those one or two lines that are, they're good. And you think like, oh, that's part of it. But yeah, they didn't really have a ton of prep going in.
No, I love it when he comes out and he's like, "We are the three kings," and they're all like, "You mean the wise? We're wise men." It's the whole thing.
There's some question.
They had no idea. No, believe me, Kacy, it's tough to do a show with someone who does no show prep. I know firsthand, and I'm not talking about anyone in particular, Seth. I'm just
you have a
saying,
big organization. No, I'm not taking it personally. I'm sure it could be
Okay,
anybody.
It could be anyone, any of our cousins.
Mhm.
Cousin Howard, we're looking at you. But anyway, so the mom show comes back because we're gonna wrap it up now. We're at the end here. The mom comes back, and again, they just hand the baby over. The mom is like, "That's my baby." They're like, "Here you go. That's you said so, and you wouldn't lie." So the boys say they understand. The mom was overwhelmed. She panicked. The baby's mom explains why she chose Luke, both because she thought he was trustworthy as a firefighter and he has awesome biceps, which makes sense. It's really good thinking. Basically, they visit a friend. He gives a talk at a shelter. Paul Campbell's character shows his vulnerability. He bonds. He likes her. Taylor and his ex are all getting together. They finish the game. that they're playing Taylor and his girlfriend, and he's like, let's go to dinner. Mad Riz right there, as the kids say, mad Riz.
Yeah.
They get back together. Now it's Luke's turn with the baby's mom. He hands her the foot ornament. He understands the weight of everything on her. He totally gets it, because maybe that's how his own mom felt. They get together, and I like when they do this. They do the 1 year later. So it makes sense. It's not like here's 3 days later. A year later, one big happy family. They do the awesome dance that they all talked about earlier. And it was all like, it was great. It was a great ending. They brought it all together. The crowd loved it. Good stuff. Overall, what did you guys think all the way through, right to the ending? Kacy, what did you think? What would you give this at? Do you have a rating system on your show? You do, right?
I do
You
have
give
a rating
ratings?
system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that when this came out, I gave it like a 9.2. And I was thinking about it watching it last night, and I honestly think that was a little low. Like, I remember when it came
Wow.
out, half the people were saying, it's just going to be fan service. It's not actually going to be a great film. Like, it's just going to be
Right.
Tyler Hynes shirtless, And then the other half were saying, it's Three Wise Men and a Baby. Of course, it's going to be phenomenal. And I think I let that sort of sway me. I was let down in some aspects, but I also I loved it. And then I was watching it last night, and I was like, no, this is a great movie. I think it's phenomenal acting. Of course, it is fan service. I love all of these people. But also, like, they have a whole arc with their anxieties and how each of them
Yes.
are loners in the world, how they're all shutting each other out due to various reasons, due to their dad leaving. I think their dynamics are really beautiful. And I think it tells a story that we don't typically see in Hallmark, because it's from a man's point of view, but also just because it has all of that sort of like anxiety and that really rich family history. So I think if I were to rate it again, it would probably end up being a lot higher, closer to like 9.8, 9.9. I can't think of anything wrong with it.
Wow. Okay. That was a great synopsis. That's a really good point about that. It could have just been like the fanfare basically, or the, just doing it for the fans and relying on the stars and not having an actual storyline, but they did. And it was great. Okay. So
Right, just gratuitous shots
9.8.
of the three of them. It's just like, they're
Yes.
here now. They're here now. You're
Which
like,
are also
great.
appreciated.
Right.
That's what scrapbooks are for.
That's right. Seth, what are you giving
Put
this?
those things together. Yeah, it would get a very high rating. I loved it, and it's very, very similar reasons. And yeah, I like when these Hallmark movies don't play like a Hallmark movie, or what I've kind of, I guess, originally felt that a Hallmark movie would feel like. But yeah, they feel like good production, big production movies. I liked all three of them. Yes, Tyler stood out, but
there you go, Seth.
I did have a focus.
Okay.
I did have my note checks. Chad's sweating over there.
I'm nervous.
But yeah, it's like Kacy was saying too, with the, dealing with their anxieties, each with their respective anxieties and stuff like that, and seeing them work through it. And then that connection of bringing the brothers back together and stuff like that. And it's like them genuinely coming together for something and enjoying being with each other. I don't have any siblings, so I don't know that joy or pain. So
Me neither.
Oh, okay.
That's
nice. Single children.
Yeah.
Singleton.
Seth used to have to come visit my brother and me to get some brotherly love and fighting in whenever he'd come visit. So that's interesting point too, right? Because the arc of them bonding together, it wasn't like some of these movies, it's the last scene, they solve everything. It did have a crescendo throughout the movie where they slowly came together. So that worked. Oh, Seth, what was your final rating out of 10?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna go. I get 9.5. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I really liked it. It's
okay. That is a high. So we have a 9.5 and 9.8. Now, all the points you guys made were fantastic. I agree with all of them. Here's my problem with the movie. And don't worry, Hynies, it wasn't Tyler Hynes. I hear them already at the door. I don't know, they're trying to get in. I didn't say anything bad. I didn't say anything bad. He broke in. Oh, I didn't say anything bad.
No.
Oh no, that's fine. I have two legs. Here's my issue with the movie. It was a fantastic movie. It was a funny movie. My issue is it was a good movie that works on its own, separate from Christmas. I always judge these things on how much Christmas and festivity and holidays that they are. Even Biltmore Christmas was fantastic, but that was a good movie no matter what time of year it took place. So for me, that knocks it down a little bit because I don't watch a lot of movies, but I like the Hallmark Christmas movies. That's what I like. But the one-liners were great. The story was great. It was all good. I'm giving it a solid 9, but it was during the Christmas season. If you want higher, I want a full. Yes, I know there's that huge Christmas scene at the end. There were candy canes, but I want forget good story, forget a tale, forget a crescendo and bonding. I want cookie decorating. I want gingerbread making. You don't have to have such a good plot. You could dumb it down 50% and I would have given it a 10. Really good overall, though. I think it was fantastic.
I have a response to that.
Okay.
I feel like I have two points. My first point, which is my serious point, is that I don't know if people would be so willing to accept that this mother is just like left her baby if it weren't at Christmas time. Like, I feel like people are just more willing to be like, she might be overwhelmed. It's a hard time of year. Like, of course, these brothers are going to be able to come together at this really hard time of year and work it out. But then my second point,
Christmas or the Ides of March. That's a good time to do something bad and like give up a baby. I think.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
They don't do those movies.
Yeah. And then my second point is that, but then if it weren't Christmas, we wouldn't have these beautiful matching elf costumes, which I will say are my computer background at work. It is them and Santa with the baby. It is also my keyboard photo on my phone. He's Android. So I don't know, but I understand, they don't have as many of the Christmassy things. Although in the Hallmark Movies Now version, they do have an ice skating sequence.
Oh, they did have some ice skating in this one, didn't they? I think they did. Yeah.
I don't know. I get the unpaid friendly version, so I didn't get the funny bonus features.
Right. Okay. No, that's a great point because some of the most fun parts of this movie were that it was at Christmas time. It's fair. As Seth knows, I will give away from a lot of the story just to have it like my favorites, like Picture Perfect Christmas. Most people would say that's not the best movie, but there's so much Christmas going on, like talking to the grandma by the fireplace.
Yeah. Kids sneezing into his hot chocolate. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yes, exactly. That's it. So I think
there was no leaving the big city or going somewhere else. Like they were there. Right. Everything took place right there. It's
That's right. I need that too, Seth. I need them to leave a city and meet the small somewhere. Town. That's right. Go somewhere. Well, Kacy, you were awesome once again.
Yes.
We really appreciate you coming on here, lending your expertise to us and sharing your thoughts on it. And it's a great way to wrap up. This is going to be the last episode of Hynie-Thon. So I think we did a good job, guys. I mean, we had a few angry phone calls, but not from. Oh no, I forgot to disconnect. No more. But everybody, thank you so much, Kacy. Check out Kacy at The Heart of Reviews on YouTube, on Instagram, and she has some great things coming back on the history, the origin stories of Hallmark, comparing it to different eras. I really am looking forward to that. So let us know. We'll certainly help cross promote it. We do have around 23 million average daily listeners. I don't want to brag, but that's like on an off day. No biggie, no big deal. And
now with Hynie-Thon, I'm sure there's more.
That's right. We might crack 50 million. That's right. So I love it. So thank you so much, Kacy. This was awesome. Seth, thank you again. For joining and showing up on time. That was awesome. Blew my mind a little bit. I was like, weird start. Like, don't do that again. So I had a whole plan.
Understood.
So, thank you so much, everybody. And check us out at Christmas Cousins Pod or email us christmascousinspod@gmail.com or call the complaint phone number. You know the number.
Awesome. Thanks, Kacy.
Thank you.
Kacy.